Hi guys. For those of you that saw the video on brush cutter woes, well, you might be wondering what the outcome was of the old motor, what happened. So, we got a replacement new one. Well, today I spent some time pulling down the old one to see if it could be saved or put into service again. And now that I've got it apart, I can see quite clearly what had happened. So we have all the bits and pieces here on the bench. Now, here is the main cylinder, and over here we have the lower half of it. So that lives on there, and we have the crank and piston live in there. Well, we have the crank and piston out of it. And if we just turn that upside down, lo and behold, there is the top of one of the valves poking out of the piston. So it dropped a valve, and that's not a good thing. Obviously ended the life of this motor. Now, can it be saved with new piston and maybe a new valve? Well, if we have a bit of a look down the bore, I'll just get a light on it for you. You can see inside there that we have, at the bottom of your screen, or the hole, you can see that the inlet valve is still there. That's the inlet side of the motor. But then if we look up here, you can see the bare stem of the inlet valve. So the end came off the inlet valve. Why? I'm saying probably age. Sometimes things that can do that is foreign material gets inside there. Something substantial finds its way in. It can even be something on a small motor like if I can get a better picture there for you. It can be something like a spark plug drops the electrode off, but you can quite plainly see here that the electrode is still on the end of that spark plug. In fact, obviously the valve danced around on that side at one point, and it's flattened the electrode out against the earth electrode, out against the center electrode. So why did it drop the head off the valve? Who knows? Might have dropped a bit of carbon buildup or something off the stem, which held the valve open on the compression stroke, and the piston whacked it and that snapped it off. Who knows? But putting a new valve and piston in, well, the bore seems quite okay, and that would live again. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just get another valve and piston and pop it back together. But the reality is that the valve has damaged. When it embedded in the top of the piston, the free end has been dancing around in the top of the chamber there, and as you can see, it's quite clearly damaged the valve seat to the point that it can't be reground. The material has been pushed to one side and down. If I were to try and lap a valve on, it would burn out in no time because it won't seal. Not on that particular section, no matter how well I lapped it. So that is basically history. That's the end of the game for this guy. So where does that leave me? I can buy this component, which comes with the bottom half of the casing, because bear in mind they're line bored through here for the actual crankshaft bearings and everything to sit in. So they're sold as a matched pair. They're machined together. So that's fine. I can buy a kit. So with those two housings, it has a new piston, the piston pin and the rings. And what else does it have? Oh, it has this front section of the casing over here where the magneto or coil sits. And it has the top cover. Beyond that, what would I need? I'm unsure if the valves are actually in that assembly. I would look at buying, about 750 to 850 baht, depending on who you buy it from. I'd be inclined to put in a new tooth belt because there might be free play in that. And still, because it's kind of unknown as to why it let go, this cog on the top that runs the cam is actually a composite fibre. And the rocker arms, if I can just show you them, run on a shaft to here. And those things have, get some light out, they have some cam-shaped legs going into slots on that gear. If possibly those have worn too far, it's also possible, or I might have lost a piece off it, I can't quite see and get that out readily. It's quite possible that maybe the valve stayed open longer than it should have, because maybe if it's wear or something like that, if the holes elongate, whether that makes the valves close prematurely or late, I don't know. But I'd be inclined to replace that, and that's like 250 baht for that. A belt's 100 or 200 baht. The cylinder kit is 750. So we're up at around probably 1,000, 1,100 baht for that lot. If the valves don't come in the new kit, you can buy 2 valves with valve springs and the valve caps for about 55 baht. So that's really, really cheap. But even so, that takes us up around the 1,200, 1,250 baht. I can buy a Chinese copy of this motor, the GX35 Honda motor, for about 1,300. And how does that work? People seem okay with them. The reality of that motor comes with complete everything. It's a running concern. It's got the fuel tank, it's got the carby, it's got all of this, it's got the muffler, it's got the ignition system, it's got the pull start, it's got the flywheel for the magneto or the inductive pickup, it's got the clutch for running the drive. All of that complete. I've got a brand new Honda one of these. It's going to last for quite some time, or I'd hope it would match how long this one did actually last. If I bought one of those complete motors and use it as a backup, or when we've got 2 people cutting, last couple of years, 1339 or 1350 baht, how could you go wrong? With all the other stuff sort of renewed. I could build this motor, and then I could have a coil pack go. The clutch could go. The ignition coil could go. The pull start could fail. The muffler might, give up the ghost. That'll just make it noisy, or it might fall off because it rusted through. A whole plethora of things. So the reality of it, all of that, 1,300, 1,350 baht, I think I'm inclined to go that way. When I have a few bucks to spare, I think I'll grab one of those, and the rest of the machine really down here. That's the cutting head and the drive inside that shaft, the handles, the trigger, and it just bolts on the front with 4 Allen key screws. And basically, to get that going again, the whole motor is there. It's just a matter of pulling it out of the box and putting in 4 Allen headed screws to hold that section onto it, and we've got a complete cutter again without the concerns of this. All of this, I think I'll chuck in a box and I'll stick it in the shed, and it gives me spares. I do that. Lots of people involved in mechanical things tend to do that. Like, there's a new carby on there, it's only done a week or two's work. If I was to have a premature failure of one of these other components, well, I don't have to buy it. I don't have to wait for it to arrive. I can just pop it straight back into service. So that's really what happened there. So it's just a side story. Sometimes I may put some things on where we've had an issue with something, and people will wonder later down the track, well, okay, well, did he do what he said he was going to do, or did he manage to sort that out or get some resolution on it? Well, this is one of those side stories. I am looking at putting up a membership section of YouTube. That's become available to me. It happens incrementally as you get more watch hours from people, the guys like you that patronise my channel and watch my material. And as you know, YouTube makes money out of running ads on people's channels. Well, I don't get any money out of that. My channel's not big enough, but I do get the opportunity to run memberships and things where I can add value, add a little bit of extra information that you might be interested in. And I've reached a stage where they've enabled memberships for me on my site. I just noted it the other day, so they're there if you're interested and would like to take that opportunity. But all good. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch up with you next time. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give me some comments or questions, anything. It's great. Love to talk to you. Bye, guys.